guys, welcome to the show. Dom and Jam are here. Yeah.
The originals.
The originals, yeah.
Well, scream for me, iridiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. Anyway, Iron Maiden.
Well, should you do like a wave? Do you want to do like a wave?
Yeah. Scream for me. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Even though Maiden are arguably, probably apart from Metallica, the biggest metal band in the world.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about them that much, do we? Really?
Not really.
I mean, we cover them on our we cover them on All Killers and stuff like that, but with this one is actually we're talking about deeper cuts, or I mean, that's a bit of an argument. And what is a deep cut? People probably have an argument that some of these ain't, because some of mine are quite popular over time. I suppose. Do you know what I mean? Okay. They weren't singles or anything, but I think they've become popular over time. So there's probably some arguments that they're not deep. They've definitely been played live. Some of them might have been played. They're not like they haven't been played live or anything. Some of these, so they are.
Yeah, that's deep. That was my criteria, kind of. Is has it been in a set in the last 20 years, or 10 years, or maybe it was at when it first came out, but it's just been forgotten since then, or whatever.
Exactly. So a lot of these Maiden fans, especially, probably know all of them. If you're a big Maiden fan, there might be a surprise. You never know. So we go around the houses. Yeah, we've got 10 tracks each, and we're going to go from newest to oldest. So we're going to build up. We're going to build up to the classic Maiden years, I suppose we could say. So right, okay, we go Dom, if that's all right, mate. I've got you at the bottom.
Okay.
Then we go Jam, then me. What's your number one? But not the best, by the way. The newest.
Okay, so newest to oldest. All right. So I am going for 2006. A Matter of Life and Death, which I think of their their last 2 decades, one of their better albums. And it's the opening track, Different World, which, there was even modern Maiden for a time, they don't do it anymore, but they would, as we all know, their songs have gotten longer and more kind of progressive-y and stuff. But for a time, they would still open with like a classic, 4-minute, 5-minute, kind of rocker. And this is one of them. Different World is great. Just kind of your Aces High, kind of, just high energy track, the kind that I really miss, for the most part. But yeah, really great chorus, and Different World from A Matter of Life and Death.
Very cool. Very cool. I won't say too much because my turn in a minute, but yeah, very good, very good. Jam, what you got, mate?
Interesting. Newest one, 2006, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's pretty good for me. So
I wasn't expecting one that new from you, Dom. What you got, Jam?
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to say that we've had a quick discussion. There's no criteria. It doesn't have to be a song that has never been played live. It doesn't have to be one that, and you can have more than one off an album. We haven't got any rules for this. So people say that it hasn't been played live and it has, then we haven't researched it or anything.
No rules. Pretty much no. No rules. No rules. Go on then, Jam. What you got, mate?
Okay. I'm going to the last album, 2021. I'm going to go to Senjutsu, and I'm going to go for Darkest Hour, which I think is a great song. About obviously the Second World War, just before Dunkirk, and it's similar. It's obviously the same themes as the film with Gary Oldman in it. It's a bit of a slower one, but I just think it really builds up well. And it's I think I like Senjutsu. I thought I preferred it to Book of Souls, and I think this is a great song. Don't believe. Well, they didn't do a Senjutsu tour. Technically, they did half Somewhere in Time type thing, didn't they? So they didn't play that many songs. They played a really long one off this album, but they didn't play Darkest Hour, unfortunately, which is a shame because I was looking forward to it. So there we go. Darkest Hour from Senjutsu.
Thanks, mate. Can't get any more newer than that. That is a good song, actually. I like that one off that album. But I'm going to the same. I'm not going to the same song as Dom, but I'm going to the same album. So I'm not going. 19, 20 years ago. This was actually for a while. I think it might be my favourite since Bruce returned to the band. Was it 2000 he joined the band or something like that, wasn't it?
99 and then 2000 he did the album, but yeah.
But I think that the whole concept of that album, Matter of Life and Death and the War, that I really got pulled into that, the theme of the album. I suppose you could call it a concept album, but it wasn't like a story, was it? It was just like wars and battles and stuff. So this isn't a 3-minute song, but because there's lots of long songs on there, but it is a great song. It's The Longest Day, which I think is a really like cool song. It's very like, as usual, Maiden getting very like lyrically, really putting you in the battle, if you like, how they do, some real graphic lyrics, which are really cool. This is about the D-Day landings, actually, this one. So, yes, the way they I saw them on this tour, actually. And a lot of people weren't happy, obviously, with the performing the whole album. I actually really loved the album, though, at the time. So I was quite happy to hear the album. But they just chucked a couple of songs on the end that weren't like from the album. That was it. But I really liked it, and I think it was better than a tour that I saw a few years earlier. But The Longest Day, a great track, very long. Very cool.
Appropriate, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's obviously been played a few times, a bit like your track, Dom, but only really on that tour. So
well, that's the thing with Maiden. We're talking about songs that aren't performed live that much. They're very good at when a new album comes out, they will, really promote it. A few tours, they'll do the whole album. But it seems like after that, you never hear these songs again, So I would say they're deep cuts. They may be performed on the album that they were promoting at the time, but again, that was 20 years ago. And have you ever heard The Longest Day since that? You know what I mean? So that was kind of my criteria for deep cuts, is maybe they performed it at the time, but you certainly haven't heard hide nor hair of it since.
Very cool. So that's our first round. What's your second track, mate? What you got?
Mine is from the previous album, so Dance of Death, 2003, which is not one of my favorite albums, but I have to say, you did mention your favorite post-reunion song. This is mine. This is the opening cut, Wildest Dreams. I think I've mentioned this on the channel before. Just a great, I'm on my way. Just a great rousing, crowd sing along. It's certainly as good as Wicker Man or something, but they just don't do this anymore. And I think it could be one of those live staples if they did it enough and people got used to it. But anyway, just a great rockin' Maiden song like they used to do. Fantastic. It could have been off, one of the earlier albums.
I should have worn my Wildest Dreams t-shirt. I got a t-shirt from that tour. So.
Lovely.
Do you remember the quite an outdated video now? I think it was like one of these computer
CGI,
CGI. But it's got Eddie on the front with the hat on and all that. It's very cool. But great song. Really cool song.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, Jam, what you got there, mate?
Okay, I'm still in the modern era, so I'm going to 2015, Book of Souls. And I'm going for the longest Iron Maiden song ever written, I believe. And that is Empire of the Clouds, from the last track as well, written by Bruce, which is obviously quite rare these days. I don't think, did he write on his own? I think he did. It's all about the R101 Zeppelin disaster. But it's even though it's 20 minutes long, or just shy of it, I think it's doesn't seem, it's one of them ones that doesn't seem. It's got piano in it and everything. I mean, this is totally away from Maiden, really, but I just always loved this song. I thought they might play it live. I thought they might take a risk and do it on the tour, but I don't think they did on Book of Souls tour. That I believe. I think they played some of the other Book of Souls, the title track. But I like it, and I've heard it on the radio once before on the long player on Planet Rock. But probably not a classic for many people because they don't like the piano and stuff. But I think it's a great song, and it tells a great story as well. Oh, sad, great story.
It's a cool song. I think they. I don't think, even though it's very long, they didn't repeat segments like they do. Like in a lot of their long songs now, they will repeat one part a lot. won't they? But yeah, that one didn't take long to get going either. It wasn't like 5 minutes before Bruce actually opened his mouth and sang. So yeah, very cool. Like that song, very good. Mrs. likes that one as well. It's the story. I think they definitely tell a great story, don't they? Yeah. Okay, my number 2. I'm going to the same album as Dom again. I think Dom might know I'm going to have this one because I've spoken about this song before. But it's Age of Innocence. Probably.
Oh yeah, that's the other one I like off the album.
yeah. Perhaps the catchiest song they've ever written. I mean, the chorus is really, really catchy, but the verses are quite aggressive, singing very straightforward as well from Maiden lyrically, just talking about, how criminals are treated, how nice they're treated now, basically, what they do, what they've done. So it's very cool, but a massive chorus. That was the one that really caught my ear it sounds like a single. I just don't know why. I don't know why it's buried at the back end of the second side or the latter part of it. It's a weird one, but it's a really cool song. So Age of Innocence is my second track.
Oh, yeah, that is a good song. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually going for a Blaze song here.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
From the X Factor. This is something that I discovered later. This track is called Judgment Day. And the X Factor came out in 1995. Judgment Day wasn't on the actual album at the time. It was a Japanese bonus track. But I think it's on most versions now that you would download or Spotify or whatever. I mean, that's how I discovered it. I downloaded it from my iTunes. And there's 3 bonus tracks. And this is by far my favorite song they did with Blaze. I can see why it's not on the album because Steve Harris had nothing to do with it. It's written by Blaze and Yannick. And it's a real barnstormer. It's really good. His vocals sound fit for it, probably because he had a hand in the songwriting. So he's not trying to do something that somebody else wrote. It's really great. I would seriously have people check this one out because it is kind of a rarity. I mean, maybe not now if you've downloaded it on iTunes or something, but great track, Judgment Day, very last song.
Very cool. Thanks, mate. I haven't actually heard that one. So
I was very surprised when I heard it.
Nice. Thanks, mate. Jam's doing his search, see if he's got it.
I've got it on my iTunes somewhere. I have to dig it out.
Right. Okay.
Very cool. Jam, what you got, mate? Your first track?
I'm skipping forward a bit here now. To 2010.
Backward.
Well, forward. Yeah, backward. Yes. Backwards, forwards. Yeah. 2010's Final Frontier. I've got 2 off this one, so spoiler alert. But I'm going with one of my favourite, really, of modern Maiden is Mother of Mercy. I love this song from the album. I like Final Frontier. It seems to come down right to the bottom of all the Maiden lists. It comes right down the bottom. I don't understand why. I prefer this to Matter of Life and Death. I prefer it to Dance to Death, probably. I just like it. I think it's a really good album, but I can see a lot of people said it was quite repetitive in it, and I suppose Mother of Mercy is quite repetitive as well. But I think it's a great song. So I can't remember what they played live at this time, but I would be staggered if they didn't play it on this tour. But obviously we haven't heard it since then. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was with that album. I'm probably enjoying that disappointment. I think Matter of Life and Death to me was so good at the time that when I heard that, I was so looking forward to it, and a bit of the hype, I suppose, that I built up in my own head, maybe. But no, it's not that bad. I wouldn't put it at the bottom for sure. But no,
and that awful looking Eddie didn't help matters at all.
Probably didn't help. No, it didn't help. People take that very personally, don't they? The Eddie
with the fangs. Yeah, that didn't work out.
It's not bad. The Dance to Death cover though.
Yeah, I'm not that bad about Dance to Death cover myself. We're not talking about covers, obviously, but I know that people prefer all the bits taken away, don't they? And having just there's that they've played around with the cover, haven't they? Fans and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, I'm going a bit older, 92, and we're going to Fear of the Dark.
Yeah.
I didn't really listen to these albums, these two from Bruce, when they first came out. I listened to them, but didn't dive into them that much. But Judas Be My Guide is, for me, the best track on the album as well. And I love the chorus. I did a reaction to it as well, not a reaction, a review of it, if you like, doing some Iron Maiden deep tracks, and I got to love it even more. But a very cool track that I know they were getting back to more after the No Prayer for the Dying. They were getting back to more to their Maiden-esque stuff before Bruce left. But for me, the standout track on the album as well, and a deep cut, Judas Be My Guide. Very sort of Queensryche to me, this song. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that is a good song. Yeah, you know, my next one is from Fear the Dark as well.
Cool.
I don't really have a problem with either one of those albums, especially after what's come after that, you know. Now listening to them, it sounds kind of refreshing that, you know, everything isn't a long epic, you know. So, yeah, I would much rather listen to Fear or Nor Prayer than Book of Souls or whatever. But that's just my opinion, and that, you know, I grew up on Maiden, so I like the short songs, you know what I mean?
I mean, if
yeah,
you
so
ever, I saw a little interview the other day with Bruce Dickinson. If you ever wondered if they're going to listen to the fans and go back to that, no fucking chance. They're like, basically, we do what we want. If the fans want to come and listen, it's fine. If they don't, it's up to them. So then, yeah, even though that is a problem that a lot of Maiden fans have got, I think it falls on deaf ears when it comes to Maiden, for sure.
well, I do find it funny that they called this newest tour, you know, it's from the first album up till Fear of the Dark, but the only track you'll hear from No Prayer or Fear of the Dark is Fear of the Dark.
Yeah.
So they only did that so they can still do that song.
Yeah,
when in actuality it's like, you know, from the first album up until Seventh Son, really, you know.
Well, I say they could have skipped that Fear of the Dark. I've heard it too many times.
Yeah, I've never liked it.
I don't like it particularly either.
I've never liked it.
Every single tour they'll do it, you know, and it's become, you know, ridiculous now. But yeah, so yeah, the only reason they said it was up until Fear of the Dark is just so they could do that song. Anyway, so Fear of the Dark, my pick is Fear is the Key, which I really like. It's this song and another that it's very kind of a slow, almost Kashmir-ish riff, which was, you know, very different from Maiden. I mean, it still sounds like Maiden, but you know, that kind of almost Eastern East Indian influence kind of thing. Great, you know, I really love this. You know, it's them kind of stretching out a little bit from their norm, but you know, really great song. So yeah, Fear is the Key from Fear of the Dark.
Very cool. Thanks, mate. What's your next one, Jan?
Okay, as I said, staying on the Final Frontier album, going with the last track, When the Wild Wind Blows, which is 10 minutes long, and it's the last track. But I just like this. I mean, I don't know if Dom knows this, but there was a cartoon. I presume it's the same thing about nuclear. There's these sort of an old couple, and there's a cartoon. There was a nuclear explosion, and they get radiated. Anyway, it's based on that sort of thing, and I think that sort of thing, very miserable, you know, 80s sort of feel to it. But yeah, it's just a sad story, and it turns out in the end that it wasn't even a nuclear thing; it was just an earthquake or something. So it was quite bad, really. But yeah, it's a good song. I like it. So it's slightly repetitive, but I think it's a good song. Yeah, there we go. When the Wild Wind Blows, Final Frontier.
Thanks, mate. Well, I'm going. That's it now. All my newest. I mean, I would call 1992 newer. So I'm going right. I'm going right back now. So
okay.
This is proper. This is proper now. So
okay.
So I'm
not far behind you. No.
So my fourth choice is from Power Slave, which was once my favourite album from Maiden. Probably a close second, and it's the excellent, intricate, The Duelists. I just love this song, man. I mean, they've done this quite a bit in Maiden, where they have like, there's only like a couple of verses and a couple of choruses, and then before you know it, 2 minute mark, you've got like a 4 minute solo, where it's just like, I mean, this album had to be the guitar album for Maiden for me. It's the one where it was just so guitar driven, and it was just literally like solos, all brilliant ones as well, by the way.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about going off like, we're not 10-minute songs or anything, but it was the most technical album, I would say, from Maiden for sure. And it's the Duelist, obviously about fencing, because that's another one of Bruce Dickinson's things, isn't it? Bit of fencing. But it's just amazing, man. It literally sounds, that middle section sounds like an instrumental, but then you've got the song tagged on the end. Just brilliant. The Duelist, 1984, amazing.
Cool.
Very good. Wow, you really skipped a couple albums there.
I did.
I'm gonna. Okay, so moving backward. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Last track, Only the Good Die Young, which I think has always been a great song. On par with Clairvoyant or, something like that. But it just never got the attention, probably because it wasn't released as a single. And it's the last track on the album. But I think it's one of the strongest tracks on the album. I've always loved it. And 1988 was the year.
It's a good track.
Yeah. My favourite album. Yeah. Okay, I'm skipping forward or backwards to the year 2000 from Brave New World. And I'm going with definitely one of my favourite ever Maiden songs, let alone the era, and that's Ghost of Navigator from the second track. I think it's absolutely amazing. I don't know what it is. It's just like the way it changes sort of tempo and chords halfway through. It's just brilliant. Very sort of pacey song. I think I went to the Brave New World tour. I'm not sure. I presume they played this live. Don't know. I didn't bother looking it up, but I'm sure
I had the Rock in Rio, is it? Live in Rio, and that was when they. And I've got to say, when they played that song,
they did that right.
Yeah, hair standing on the back of the neck with that, because the crowd just like when that riff kicks in. Oh, yeah, brilliant song. Love that song.
I think they should bring this back out, but I mean they probably won't now. But I think it's a great song, and good album as well, isn't it? Brave New World, but it's probably not that deep a cut, but certainly hasn't been played probably since 2000, I guess.
No.
There you go.
That is a great track. Thanks, mate. So my fifth choice is going to Peace of Mind, and my favourite album now, thanks to Dom. Thank you, Dom, for making it my favourite album. And it's Still Life. I mean,
brilliant song.
Well, to tell you the truth, I mean, this has been an amazing song. I think it's one of them songs that I suppose some Maiden fans, if they watch this, they could argue that it's not a deep cut, maybe, but it is, because it doesn't really get played, does it? But I think it's always been one of them fan favourites, I suppose you could say. Still Life is like, a massive song. Obviously, there's some what lyrically it's about is a bit, I suppose, make your own mind up. I mean, I think it's about someone just going a bit mad, don't you? And like imagining they're seeing things in the water, and then they just throw themselves in, imagining they're getting pulled towards it. But I mean, and again, it's Maiden putting these pictures in your head, and lyrically as well. But what a masterpiece of Still Life! It's an absolutely amazing track. That's my number 6, I think. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're doing the show, because a song like that is just absolutely incredible, and you'd never see it on a compilation or live unless they did the whole album or something, So, I am with Somewhere in Time, 1986, and Sea of Madness, which has always been a very strong track for me personally. Man, that bass is really up in the mix on that one. Yeah, but I think the chorus is really cool. Almost Shades to Come, because it's kind of a melancholic chorus, hummable, but something. I just always have liked it, and I think it's one of the stronger cuts. So Sea of Madness.
It's a good track. Like that song. Yeah, very cool. Thanks, mate. Where you got, Jan?
Okay, I'm going back to 1990 for the next two. To No Prayer for the Dying. an album that I
Good.
used to absolutely hate, but it's growing on me. I'll tell you, there's
Good.
some really good tracks on it. Tail Gunner's great. I always like Tail Gunner anyway. I still don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
Holy Smoke, but it's that riff I think I don't like about Holy Smoke, and the video was annoying. Yeah, it's growing on me, and there's some good tracks on there. So I've actually gone for the title track, "No Prayer for the Dying" itself, which is excellent. It's a bit more of a softer one. It's not a ballad by any means, but it's a bit of a soft one. And for a title track being only 4.5 minutes, it's quite unusual for Maiden, isn't it? But it's concise, gets to the point. It's very catchy. I mean, I even don't mind bringing Your Daughter to Slaughter off this album, and there's another one obviously I'm going to talk about. So that's at least half of it I like. So perhaps I ought to give the rest of it a bit of a go, because it's certainly not as bad as it's. I still don't like Fear of the Dark as an album, but No Prayer for the Dying is growing on me a bit, I would say.
Okay.
So No Prayer for the Dying is a title track from 1990s album.
Very cool. Definitely the most stripped back album for sure, wasn't it? Without a
I think it
doubt.
was just a disappointment after Seventh Son, how brilliant that was, and then they made that, and it's like, well, that's not very good, is it, compared to that? But there we go.
And they
It's just a different style, and I actually admired them at the time for moving on, because I mean, how much further could they go after Seventh Son? Because that was just very
epic,
proggy and epic and stuff. So I like that they went back, although it didn't all work. But I appreciate the idea of them all playing together in a barn somewhere and recording it. And
well, I suppose they've gone back to that, the Seventh Son, more now, haven't they?
Yeah.
But very cool. Thanks, Jeff. I think I said that was my number 6, that last one, but it wasn't. That was my number 5. But this one's my number 6. Peace of Mind. Again, I've got quite a few around this time, by the way. But the brilliant, definitely a deep cut. This one probably not liked as much as Still Life, but I sort of put them together a little bit. Sun and Steel.
Yeah.
Just galloping. One of the fastest galloping songs for them, and a really catchy chorus as well. I mean, they're very swashbuckling, aren't they? You could, and I think
galloping, of course,
galloping and swashbuckling. I think a lot of that is to do with like the drums, Nico McBrain's drum. Like, there's lots of cymbals all the time with Maiden, isn't there? And it almost reminds you of sword fighting sometimes. It's like, what I mean? It's just absolutely brilliant. But Sun and Steel, it's like, again, when they could hit those 3.5 minute songs with perfection, really. Amazing song, Sun and Steel. Okay.
Very cool. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so my next one is actually a match with you, Lee. It's the Duelists from Power Slave. Love that song, always have. Prefer it to quite a few others on that album.
Yep.
I just never get tired of it. Fantastic song. You kind of covered it. So, but the Duelists, 1984.
Ooh. Very cool. I mean, I think that was my most played album when I was younger. Power Slave was just literally wouldn't go off my turntable. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Great song. Cool. Okay, Jan, what you got?
Yeah, back to No Prayer for the Dying. Then I won't dwell on this. I've mentioned this many times. It's one of my favourite Maiden tracks. It's Mother Russia. Although some people don't like the rip, I mean, I think it's a great track. Going back to No Prayer for the Dying, the song, I don't think they played that. They didn't even play the title track on that tour, I don't believe. I saw them twice. I don't think they played that. They certainly didn't play Mother Russia, which I think it's an epic feel to it. I'm surprised they've never played it, but there we go. But I have talked about it a lot, so I won't talk about it anymore. It's a great track.
Thanks, mate. That's the last track as well, isn't it?
Last track on the album? Yeah, it was on my last track show we did. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it.
Okay, so veering away from albums now.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So when I was growing up, I also had singles as well, and 12-inch singles and stuff like that. And I've got to say, Maiden were very good at B-sides. So they were also very good at covers. And a lot of these times, the covers, I didn't even know they were covers at the time. But for this one, for instance, I was 13 years old. So this is the first time I heard this track. So if you bought the Flight of Icarus single, you would have heard I've Got the Fire on the B-side.
Montrose?
Montrose track, yeah. So very cool. Bruce Dickinson snarling and stuff like that. I've heard obviously the Montrose track in the last few years. And it's weird, isn't it? I know we always say that the original was the best, that they wrote it. But when you're so used to the Maiden song,
Oh yeah,
you know, it's just I Got the Fire is just a like I said, a barnstormer. It's brilliant. Just almost rock and roll sort of song,
yeah.
but they maidened it up, obviously. Very cool. 1983, again, peace of mind period. There you go.
All right,
All
yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah, I've got five.
I didn't even think of the covers they've done, but yeah, especially in that period, really good covers. Okay, another match with you, Lee, of course. This is from Peace of Mind, and it is Sun and Steel. Probably my favorite song on my list. It has always been the one that caught my ear, you know. That chorus is just, it never goes away from your head. And I just love it. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, Peace of Mind, probably my favorite Maiden album, I would say, and Son of Steel, my favorite track off of this list here.
Excellent.
Brilliant. Excellent choice, I must say. Thanks, Don.
Sunlight falling
Shining
on your
steel. It's the harmonic. It's the harmonies and all. I don't know if Bruce is doing.
The harmonies are good. I don't know who's harmonizing with him on there. I've never, probably Adrian, maybe.
Yeah, perhaps Adrian Smith, because he's probably the second best singer, I suppose, in the
Or
band.
it may just be double track Bruce, probably.
Could be double track,
to be honest.
It could.
Because it was never a live track, so never had to duplicate it.
It's that bit, the galloping bit after, when he says rolling on and on and on, and it just goes ding, 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 the fucking galloping, man. Oh,
yeah,
brilliant, absolutely amazing. Yeah, excellent song. Thank you
Great
very
one,
much.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. What's your next one, mate?
Okay, I'm going back to 1986, Somewhere in Time. This is one that I'm surprised hasn't come up, but I mean, it's one that I think it's one of those deep cuts that everybody wants them to play, and they've never played it, and that's Deja Vu.
Yeah, I like Deja Vu.
They didn't. How did they not bring it out on the last summer back on the last tour? I don't know how. Everyone wanted Alexander the Great, of course, but I thought they'd play Deja Vu at least. That is short song, it's quick, but no, they didn't play it. So then that'll never get played now. That's it. That's had it. So.
Yeah.
But Deja Vu is amazing. It's one of those ones where it's a deep cut, but everybody knows it, sort of thing. We're getting to that stage, aren't we? But yeah, Deja Vu. I love Summer in Time. I think it's a great album. So.
Wouldn't you fucking love it if they did it? I mean, I don't even know. They don't come anywhere near me, but you know, wouldn't you love it if they did a deep cut? Yeah, all these songs. Do you know what I mean? Still Life, fucking Deja Vu. It'd be fucking great, wouldn't it? Because a lot of Maiden fans are calling out for that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And you would think that they would really be into it because they're not playing the same old tracks they've been playing for the last 40 years. Yeah. You know, they'd be learning. Maybe it's too difficult. Maybe it's too much work learning all these new songs or old songs. But you do think that, you know, since they will always want to play new material, why wouldn't they go back and play something they haven't played for 40 years? You know what I mean? And it would be new to them.
Yeah,
if they've never played it live, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember when that drum beat comes in for Run to the Hills? They probably think, oh. You know,
you would think that they'd be, but they would want to do a deep cuts, but again, I don't know, maybe,
do what they want, do what they fucking want.
Yeah.
Okay, this next song, again, I'm going to a B-side and a cover. My favourite cover from them, actually, and this could actually be my favourite song on the list. Again, didn't know this was a cover. So again, 1983, The Trooper B-side, and it's Cross-Eyed Mary.
Oh yeah.
Man. And what a weird
I almost
song,
said those words when I was saying how they did great covers around that time. And I'm glad I thought, oh shit, he might have two.
And I thought, what a fucking weird song. When I first heard this, I thought it's a weird song, but I just instantly loved it. And this is Bruce Dickinson at the height of his power as well. Just mental vocals. And I thought it was a weird song until I heard the Jethro Tull actual song a few years ago. And that is fucked up. It's so weird. But Cross-Eyed Mary is just brilliant. It is for me a Maiden song because that's just how I've just grown up with it. But a brilliant song if you haven't heard it. Amazing.
Yeah, there's that was so popular on American radio at the time. It was getting played more than any of their own material. Yeah, and the rec company went back to the album and said, "Can we repress the album with that because it's getting so much airplay and no one can really find it unless it's an import, single or something." And they said, "No fucking way! You're not putting a cover on one of our albums." So they didn't, and the radio stations continued playing it, and nobody knew how to find it. That's literally the only place you could hear it was on the radio, unless you ordered a, import single.
They obviously bought it. They obviously bought it out on that big box set thing they fucking bought out a few years ago.
Yeah, well, later on, yeah. But at the time,
yeah.
in '83, that was the only time you would hear the song, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Fucking what a song! The really cool thing about all that covers and stuff at that time is with that Peace of Mind production as well. That that mix. They've all got that brilliant
Classic.
mix. Yeah. Just amazing stuff. Cross-Eye Mary is my number 8, so we're at number 9 now. I think.
Have I missed one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I have 2 left.
2 left.
2 left.
Yeah.
How many you got there on your list?
I've got 10. Different World, Wildest Dreams, Judgment Day, Fear is the Key, Fate's Warning. Did I do Fate's Warning?
Oh, you did Fate's Warning.
Okay, so I'll put that in now. No Prayer for the Dying. No Prayer for the Dying, 1990. Fate's Warning. I like that song.
That's all right. It doesn't matter. There's no rules, James said.
No rules. No rules.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Fate's Warning is a great song, I think. Again, that is a deep cut. Nobody has heard that one in a while, but yeah, I would seek that out. Very good Maiden song.
It is a very cool song. Okay.
Well, we have a triple match with Still Life in 1983. There we go.
Still Life, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that song. I've always loved that song. They did play it on the Seventh Son tour, which made in England, obviously, the live album from that. And that was my first time I ever saw him, so I actually got to see him live. So there you go. But I don't think they'll play Still. I was hoping they'd bring Still Life out for this tour, but they've obviously haven't. So that's a shame. But yeah, Still Life, excellent song. I think we're all in agreement. So there you go.
Great.
Yeah. I think that is out of my list. That's probably the most popular song. Looking at the list for me, Still Life. Excellent choice, mate. Excellent choice. So we're on number 9, aren't we? Because I'm getting confused now. We're at number 9 now. That's right.
You're 9th, yeah. We're on 10.
You're at 9.
Okay. So this wasn't on an album. They re-released it, the album, and then put this one on it. Just like this talking there with. So this is going back to 1982. And this is Total Eclipse.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, you were going to say Sanctuary. I was going to say, right, okay. Yeah.
No. So they I know Gangland was the song chosen, which I don't mind. I don't mind Gangland. It was all right at the time. But where albums could only be like, I don't know, 35, 40 minutes long, they swapped it out for Total Eclipse. It's a bit of a weird one because for me, it's a far superior song. It's almost a bit doomy as well when Bruce, when the riffs go deeper and then Bruce goes up for his really aggressive "Rise has gone." That part, I fucking love that bit. But yeah, they re-released it on the re-release of Number of the Beast a few years later. Amazing.
They take Gangland off.
It was. They took. I don't know if they just added kept Gangland on there. I'm not sure, or they added both. But it was the Run to the Hills B-side as well. So just to let everyone know.
I think they just added it as a bonus because it still opens with Gangland. I'm almost 90% sure.
And this became a bit of a cult classic, I suppose, between Maiden fans, didn't it? That everyone spoke about Total Eclipse like it should have been on the album. An amazing song.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my number 9.
Okay, well, surprisingly, when we first mentioned this, I was thinking that I would have a lot of Paul Di'Anno material on here because I love that period, but there's not too many deep cuts on those 2 albums. Like they've performed quite a bit, especially now I saw this new set list, and it opens with 4 or 5 Di'Anno songs. So yeah, there's not too many deep cuts, but I have to say this is one of my favorites of the Diano years, and I didn't see it on any set list. You know, on setlist.com, I don't know, or setlist FM, I think it's called. I don't know if you've ever done that, but if you look at a set list and then you scroll down and then you hit artist statistics, then it has numerically descending how many times a band has done the song.
Yeah.
So I did check most of these to see, you know, I mean, if it's only like a handful, you know, down the bottom of the list. This one wasn't anywhere to be found. So it's Innocent Exile. I love this song. And, you know, I wasn't paying that much attention, but I didn't realize that it wasn't one that they played very often or that, you know, you really hear. But I think it's one of the best songs on Killers. I mean, for me at least. Yeah,
It's a good song.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic song, Innocent Exile. I don't know why it's been shunned.
It is a great song. Yeah, good song.
Great song, yeah. So
Very
that's how I'm ending.
Great list, mate. Thank you very much. What you got,
Jam? Going back to the very beginning, going back to the debut album 1980, and it's difficult to say that any of these are deep cuts because everybody knows them back to front. But I'll go with Strange World because I love the song. Very atmospheric. Remember Tomorrow always used to be my favourite track on this album, Prowler, but I've heard them too much. It's just that everybody knows Remember Tomorrow, don't they? And Strange World's perhaps a little bit deeper. I've got it's like the bootleg version made in Japan, so it's the whole gig. I think it's from the soundboard, really good quality. So I'm going to go back and have a look and see if actually Strange World's on it. But I don't know if they've ever played it at the time. Maybe back in 1980 they did. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how you'd find out. But anyway,
it definitely isn't one of those that one of the first two albums that you hear very often.
No, but I love that song. So yeah, that's my last track.
It's a very cool track, and it's my last track.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, very atmospheric, like you said. I love Paul Di'Anno's vocals on this as well. It almost, again, transports you a little bit. I know apparently it's meant to be about vampires. The theory is.
Right, okay. I don't really know.
If you do actually look at the lyrics, you can see where that's coming from. The vampire thing.
I just imagined it to be like on a strange planet or something, you know, like on Mars or something. But
yeah,
there's space vampires.
Yeah, space vampires.
Perhaps. Yeah. But I think I can't remember the lyrics now. But if you go back and listen to Gem, and you think it does actually reference there's something it references about wine, which is apparently a reference to vampires or something. So yeah, very very cool song though. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. And I think it is probably the deepest one on the album, I suppose. Deepest cut.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah, yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. I thought you was going to have more Di'Anno, Dom, but thinking about that, you know, it's weird, isn't it? Like, you know, what is
I thought I was going to as well, but, you know, it's just, we're talking about deep cuts and stuff, and they've actually done a pretty good job of resurrecting many of those songs. Recently, so you can't really call it deep cut if they've played it in the last 20 years or something, you know. Yeah, but you know, I love those two albums so much. I can't.
Any of you got any honorable mentions at all?
I don't. No, I don't. I just cut it here. Yeah.
I've just a few. I mean, I just mentioned Remember Tomorrow. I say I'm not sure that's a deep cut. I think Killers as well. I've thought Killers is a very popular song, and they've actually just they're playing on the new tour. I'm not sure. I think they are, aren't they?
They have played it.
Are they playing on the new? I'm not sure. Yeah.
I mean, I would have chosen. I think I would have chosen. I love Killers, so perhaps I would have chosen that one. But yeah.
Yeah, Die With Your Boots On as well, but how deep is that? Most people know that. And then Moonchild as well. We know I love Moonchild. Is it deep cut? I'm not sure it's a deep cut, but it's a great track. But so the only two other ones are probably Sign of the Cross, which I love from Blaze, so I was going to stick that in my list. And Tears of a Clown from Book of Souls again, all about Robin Williams, isn't it, the comedian?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's about
very catchy as well, that one. Very cool song. Thanks, Jam. So another cover that I liked was That Girl, the FM cover. I really like that. They did a cover of that. I actually prefer the FM version, but it came out sort of really about the same sort of time. I think 86, around the Somewhere in Time period. I think they came out. And I quite like the Prophecy. Whether that's a deep cut or not, I don't know.
I think that is definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's you got that one. I always think of the other one as well. That's off the album. That was actually a single release. You've got the Prophecy, which what's the other short song? Which is
Really good time.
Clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant. Yeah,
that was actually a single.
Yeah.
And one that I was really toying with having on the list instead of the Duelists from '84, Flash of the Blade. Oh,
another great one.
What's the song that is, eh? But that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Absolutely brilliant.
That was fun.
That was good.
It was
good.
It was. So anyone, there's loads of Maiden fans out there, obviously. Let us know your deep cut list. I mean, it don't matter if it ain't a deep cut because it can be argued whether it is or not anyway, couldn't it? But don't have run to the hills. Don't have run to the hills.
All the tree.
Fear in the dark. Don't have that one.
But bottom below, whether it's 1 song, 5 songs, 10 songs, join in the fun. Yeah, guys.
Get involved.
Yeah.
Get involved. Time to show what t-shirt got you made. I've got True.
Oh yeah.
I've got
the classic
t-shirt. Like that.
Thankfully, with him killing Margaret Thatcher on the shirts. So.
Wasn't that banned for a little while, or they took
Margaret Thatcher out? But this actually has her on there, yeah.
I think they just put black across her eyes, didn't they? Just to black out her eyes.
Yeah, they did, yeah. So, and then, of course, she got a revenge on the women in uniform cover with her hiding around.
Yeah.
So,
with a couple ladies, with Eddie strutting down the street with a couple ladies.
He was. Yeah. So, just slightly off topic, I think I know Jam's answer on this one, since we're talking about covers, album covers. What is your favourite one, Jam? I think I know this.
Maiden one.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. It probably got to be Somewhere in Time just because of all the Easter eggs in it.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Dom? Have you got one?
I have to say Killers. It was such a explicit album at the time. Like, you know, when you saw it in the store, you're like, fucking hell, it's this monster with an axe with blood dripping off of it. It was so cool. So yeah, I'd have to go with that one. That's just classic.
I'm a bit weird. I'm very similar. I go with that one only because I think I like the simplicity of it. Because I
love Killers. Yeah, it's great at cover.
And I've always thought like I don't want to really get another Maiden T-shirt because they're just so popular, aren't they? Maiden T-shirts are just fucking everywhere. So, but I think Killers. If I saw a Killers one, I'll probably get a Killers one. But I do love Peace of Mind as well. So I'm like. Oof.
Well, and I mean, my second would probably be Power Slave. That's a big masterpiece, and the original vinyl. It had that kind of all the gold was actually gold.
I've got that. Yeah, it's got the gold on it.
Yeah, it was just when that came out, it was wow. They've outdone themselves. How do they top this? You know,
and the way and on the reverse of it, you had from inside. Eddie looking down outwards, didn't you? It was very cool.
Yeah.
Derek Riggs, obviously, very cool.
Derek Riggs and Martin Birch, the two secret weapons in Maiden's catalog for all their classic stuff.
Guys, thank you very much. It's been excellent talking about Maiden.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. And obviously, we've only got another 7 years till an album comes out. So. Look, they're one of the last big bands, aren't they, that can headline festivals? So, they're one of the last ones that are left, really. So, yeah.
True.
May they forever reign. Heavy
Absolutely.
Metal. Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much. There's only one thing left to do. Ready for the fun now? Pose, ready?
Oh, yes.
Here we go. Yes!
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Bye.